outspoken and outrageous Russell Brand's rocking the Hot Topics table. And the country is reeling from the worst mass shooting in American history. Why does this keep happening? And can we do anything to stop it?
Hello, and welcome to The View. The entire country is still in shock over this massacre in Las Vegas. 59 people are dead, over 500 injured. I mean, someone posed the question, but what did you think when you first heard this? Was your thought, why does this keep happening?
I cried when I first heard about it. I woke up to it like many people. And I have been emotional because of what's going on in Puerto Rico and what's going on with my family, but I cried because I think that after Sandy Hook, our nation made the decision that it is bearable to lose 20 babies, 26-year-olds. And if we didn't have any change then, I don't know that I will see change in my lifetime. And I think that is what hit me the most.
Right.
I'm usually a hopeful person, but I thought we're gonna keep on seeing this.
I remember I was getting the news emails popping up, and when I saw the number, it was more the shock of this keeps climbing, like each one outdoes the last. And so as I looked at the number, I was like, wait, this is the biggest. I hadn't even seen the headline yet. And as I sat there, I woke my husband up. I was like, there's been another shooting, and like it numbs you. Like there's no end?
But just to go back to what you said, our country did not make the decision. A handful of people in Congress made the decision.
But we voted for them again.
Well,
but the NRA paid for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not the country. 89% of Republicans and 89% of Democrats are for preventing the mentally ill from purchasing guns. And yet in February, Trump signed a bill that would allow some mentally ill people to purchase a gun with certain provisions.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not that the country wants this, it's that the politicians are not doing their job. That's different from what you said, I think.
I don't know. I feel like we knew after Sandy Hook that these certain senators voted against gun control measures, and they're still in office. And so we used our voices to say it is bearable that 26-year-olds were killed. I mean, Bill O'Reilly said it yesterday. This is the price of our freedom. I say no, this is not the price of our freedom. This is what the Constitution is supposed to protect us against.
Yeah, but to the price of freedom, people in Canada live with just as much freedom as we do, and yet they have zero, practically, gun
how about
violence
Japan?
like this.
Well, I don't know. I spend a lot of time in Vegas because I'm there every year for my birthday. I perform there a lot, and so, I just thought to myself, if this doesn't wake folks up, because we saw it in Sandy Hook, we see it here, we've seen it all over. We've seen that this is going to continue to happen. And the thing that struck me was that nobody called it what I think it is, which is domestic terrorism.
Yes.
And I say this because the guy who's in office now always says terror. He says it after the Pulse nightclub. He said it when he thought, this one was a terrorist. And it made me go to this place where I thought, well, is it just a lone gunman when it's, a Dylan Roof, or it's this guy?
Well, the clarification they're making is political motivation or religious motivation, and there's one other.
But there is actually no federal statute for domestic terrorism. And if you look at Nevada's statute for terrorism, this shooting clearly comes under the rubric of domestic terrorism under Nevada law. And I noticed the same thing, Whoopi. It was like, you know, this administration has often said, you've got to call it radical Islamic terrorism. The Pulse shooting is domestic terrorism. Well, this guy was a domestic terrorist.
Well,
He terrorized
the guy
our
in
country.
the Pulse was on a 911 call talking about Allah. Like there was an easier.
This is domestic terrorism.
Terrorism
It's
is
the very
terrorism. When you
definition of it.
terrorize people, when you shoot people the way this guy shot them, the way they rammed a plane into a building, the way they blew up the federal building in Oklahoma, it's terrorism.
Well, by the most basic definition, to incite terror, this is terrorism.
And it's under Nevada's law.
But the scary thing about this one is they're still not finding any motivation.
But
for why
But
he
again,
would...
it doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter what his motivation was. He terrorized and has put terror into our hearts. And quite honestly, you know, I feel like, let's call it what it is. This is domestic terror. Timothy McVeigh was domestic terrorism.
Yes.
Do you notice one thing they're not saying from the gun lobby now is if they had guns, they could have defended themselves? How would they do? Shoot up?
Yeah,
How
the
would they do
guy,
that?
Sonny, there was the guy that in the band that came out and one of the opening acts, and he said he was someone that always defended the idea
Yes.
that if we were all armed,
Yeah.
we could jump up. He said most of the people had permits that I was with. They were in our bus. We couldn't get to them.
Yeah, we talked about
and he
that
said
That's
changed
earlier.
his-
one of those lies and another, you know, sort
Well,
of a sick
the-
joke that they perpetuate on the American people.
The thing about what you said, Whoopi, with this calling it what it is, because it struck certainly terror in my heart. I was looking at one of the Washington Post headlines. It said, Las Vegas gunman Stephen Paddock was a high-stakes gambler who kept to himself. The Philly Inquirer says, Las Vegas gunman Stephen Paddock enjoyed gambling, country music, lived quiet life before massacre. I don't give a damn that he liked country music. I mean, who cares about that? Why are they trying to
They're
humanize
trying to
this
I don't think they're trying to
person?
humanize. I think every time this happens, we want to know why, because when we find the why, we can start to trace, or think we can start to trace, avoiding it in the future. So I think the intent and the motivation is very important here. That's why I'm waiting. I can't stop watching the coverage because I'm like, something new has to come out.
You have to stop watching the coverage because there may not be anything new that comes out. And the bottom line is, you can't, when you call something a domestic terror, you can't say, get out of my country.
No.
That's
Yeah.
the difference between what we're talking about.
Probably.
Because when it's somebody from, you know, when it's perceived to be someone from overseas, they say, well, that's why you need a stronger wall. That's why you need this.
Yeah.
So what do we say about this? What do you say about
He's
a
a
domestic
He's a
terrorism?
rich white guy. It's a whole other world now.
Well,
to
I
deal
mean,
with.
you know, again, it's like, let's just call it what it is so we don't make excuses for it. There's no excuse for doing what these guys do, whether they're from born here or born elsewhere. You know, the difference also is if you are born here and you get radicalized, someone can say, oh, well, you know, they can go back home. But what do you do about this guy? Where do you send him?
What I'm afraid of is that, you know, the news cycle will go away and then it'll go right back to where it was. The gerrymandering, which is this redistricting of voting areas, is under scrutiny right now by the Supreme Court. I think that has a lot to do with this because these guys who vote against gun laws are gerrymandered into their district, a lot of them. And so they have a safe seat over there. It's not, but the other thing is, we are going to stop talking about this again in a week. And they have on their desk, Congress has on their desk, an idea that if they should allow silencers now on guns because of hunters' hearing issues. Okay? So if this guy who was shooting down had a silencer, what would have happened? No one would have known what was going on.
Yeah, or where it was
They
coming
would have
from.
just been falling all over the place.
They would have been able to find where it was coming from because you still see the
lights.
flash.
Well, and the smoke detector went off in his room with the smoke of the. I don't know if a silencer does anything.
And he
More lives
he
would
also
have been
went
lost
into,
with the
he also
silencer.
went
Makes
into the
it more
hotel
difficult.
with 10 heavy suitcases. Nobody saw that?
Well, you could go in one bag at a time when you think about it. Like,
The thing is, he had 42 guns. Why does our law allow someone to have 42 guns? I mean, are you arming a militia? What person needs 42 guns?
Well, they are afraid that they're going to lose their gun rights, which is why after a tragedy like this, the gun sales spike. Because people are afraid, oh, they're going to take my guns away.
Well, you know, you do have to ask the question, 42? I mean, nobody said, hey, this seems to be a whole bunch of guns.
They can't keep track of
You
it 'cause
know?
they don't register.
Well, no, and the reason that they can't, I know we have to go, but the reason that it's impossible to know how many suitcases somebody's bringing in is because people are bringing in their wedding stuff, and there's millions of people moving around, so it's hard to see. And you know, we lost another amazing person yesterday, Tom Petty, who was 66. And so as we go to break, we want you to check out one of his many classic hits, Free Fallin'. You have something if you want to keep talking. Yeah. You were about to say something. We're back. You were about to say something. I cut you off.
We were talking at the break. You know, I really believe that if there are certain politicians that the wake-up call didn't come when 26-year-olds were murdered. I can't imagine that this shooting of perhaps fellow Republicans, country music
Democrats,
lovers, Democrats,
people, Americans, just Americans.
I don't think that
Well,
it's going to change
jumps
anything.
to everyone wants to take their guns, which I think, you know, my dad has always had a gun. I
have a gun.
Yeah, but I think the things that people could get on board with are limited magazines, how much ammunition is fired at one time.
How about you, if you have more than 3 guns, somebody says, hey, a flag is raised.
Can you register the...
Well,
that's the whole point.
The other thing is you have to get a license to fly a plane and to drive a car.
Yes.
But with guns in certain states, there's barely anything but a waiting period that you don't have to be competent on that gun. You don't have to show that you can shoot it or keep it safe or hide it. You don't have to do anything to get a gun. Silencers and these ammo added things, I think everyone could get on board. I don't think we need these.
Well, there are 2 laws currently being debated right now. That's one of them.
The silencers.
The other one is really, I don't like this one either. One would make permits to carry concealed weapons valid across state lines, which would undermine states like New York, California, which have strict gun laws. So now they can just bring their guns into our state.
But the argument has been, and we heard it yesterday from the White House, and I really want to talk about this, because Sarah Sanders says now is not the time to talk about guns.
They say that about climate change, too.
Miss Sanders...
During the hurricane, don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's too late to talk about guns now, actually, Sarah Sanders.
No, it's not too late.
We should be talking about it every single day.
But no one does, because somebody decides to do a fashion show or pose nude.
Yeah.
The things that people are focused on are a little bizarre.
It's true.
But Las Vegas, because it's getting into what you were talking about. Las Vegas native Jimmy Kimmel was ready to talk gun control on his show last night. Take a look.
I've been reading comments from people who say this is terrible, but there's nothing we can do about it. But I disagree with that intensely. There are loopholes in the law that let people avoid background checks if they buy a gun privately from another party, if they buy a gun online or at a gun show. So I want to show you something. These are the faces of the senators who, days after the shooting in Orlando, voted against a bill that would have closed those loopholes. These are the 56 senators who didn't want to do anything about that.
Presley is in there.
So, in case you missed it, Jimmy showed you who they are. After your point, we're going to show you again. Because, you know, if we're not going to do anything about it, this is going to keep happening.
That's right.
And, you know, there are lots of us who are on board with checks. See, I don't mind if you come in my business. I don't mind if you come in my business to make sure that I'm not a danger to you or anyone else. I do get offended when people talk about, oh, you know, you can't buy marijuana, but you can sure buy a damn gun.
Well,
now, I don't understand that.
The thing that struck me,
it's not a strong
they kept on talking about, you know, Sarah Sanders said it's not the time to talk about it, but she also said, you know, stricter gun laws is not the answer. Look at what happened in Chicago. There are 4,000 victims of crime last year, and they have one of the strictest gun laws. Well, guess what, Sarah Sanders? 60% of the guns are not coming out of Illinois, out of Chicago. They're coming out of Vice President Pence's state of Indiana and Speaker Paul Ryan's state of Wisconsin.
That's right.
That's where the guns are coming from, and they don't have stronger stronger
Well, and just
gun
the-
law.
the
And they're going to make it
the-
less strong by this law.
Yes.
The gun show loophole, the world's largest annual gun show, is held in Las Vegas every year.
Yes.
And it'll be in January, and so far it's the 40th anniversary of the event, no talk of moving it. But the problem with this thing is you also hear the counter argument of this is not going to stop the criminals, it's going to stop law-abiding citizens. Well, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you shouldn't have a problem with regulating, with
Whoopi doesn't have a
licenses
problem
and
with it,
background
right?
The
checks.
shooter was a law-abiding citizen.
Yes.
They don't
Yeah.
have, he doesn't have a record.
Yeah.
No, but it can stand to stop some, and
Well,
if it stops even one.
It can let somebody know that you got more than 47 guns
Yeah.
in your possession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can raise a flag, and I don't mind that. And because Jimmy was kind enough to put these senators' pictures up, I want you to take a look at the folks who are making these decisions on our behalf.
And maybe don't vote for them again.
And there are their names in the states. I think
And so
the
we'll
state.
put it up on
Pay
our
attention.
website.
Don't vote for them.
So you can see them and really sort of either call their office and ask them why, or write them, email them, connect to them and find out why they're voting this way. If it's about money, you know what to do. You know that's not what you're voting. You're not voting for somebody because it's financially right for them to get reelected.
Take them out of office.
You know, we'll be
Take
right
them
back.
out.
Kind of interesting. France is taking a new approach to battling eating disorders by putting warning labels on retouch photos of the models. And the question is, so here's the picture. Is it going to say this model actually doesn't look like this
Yeah.
when she walked in? Here's her actual picture.
Others in the rearview mirror may appear skinnier than they actually
Something
are.
like that. But I think it's great. I mean, I was saying at the break, when I was growing up, I would look through these magazines and I cut pictures out.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to look like this person or that person. And I never had a shot because they were all airbrushed. But you never think that way. And 600,000 young people in France suffer from eating disorders. That's a significant
Well, and
amount
it's
of
mental
people.
health in general. It's not even a full-blown eating disorder. When you look at people looking at pictures, if we look at our food, you have to disclaim what's in it. We consume these images constantly as a reality, and I think it feeds not only an extreme example of an eating disorder, it's just this feeling of less than that we walk around with every day. So to have someone say, this woman got 20 pounds shaved off her, I can be like, I could look like that. They can shave 20 off this.
Exactly.
You know?
I think it must be a big disappointment to men when they see the real. You know what I mean? Here they are looking in the magazine, you know, and there we are walking out of the room backwards so that we don't have to, you know. It's like I think they must be like, what is this? What lie are they presenting to us? You know? And
Well, I mean, if you look at it
not
that
everybody
way,
has to be
it's-
retouched, if you get my drift.
But everybody wears makeup.
Everyone
know,
wears makeup, yeah.
Women wear makeup to enhance, and some husbands have never seen their wives without their makeup. I think these are, you know,
Like Sonny.
Little sprinkling.
Sonny might have admitted one time to going to bed a certain way, waking back up.
I don't like to wrap my hair at night. Like, I have friends that wrap their hair. They put, like, acne cream on their face. I can't do that.
That's my jam.
Yeah, I don't want my husband to see.
are you in makeup in bed when you go to bed?
Not makeup, but
Light
like hooked up.
powder.
I don't want acne cream on my face and stuff like
But
that.
what is this? I'm sorry. What does this mean?
I
What does
want
this
to
mean?
brush up my eyebrows a little bit, and then when I lay down, I kind of go like this.
I'm good. I'm good. Okay.
I lay down like that.
If you're worried about your eyebrows when you sleep, you got
gonna
more
sleep.
fish to fry than this. We'll be right back.
She wakes up and she's like,
Russell Brand talks about his Twitter war with Trump next.
Nobody can quite cut through the bull like comedian and author Russell Brand. And he uses that same brutal honesty in his new self-help book, Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions, which is the #1 bestseller in the UK right now. So please welcome the most fabulous Russell Brand.
so relieved to be with you. It's so lovely to be here. Why do I feel so at home behind this desk with you women? What's wrong with me?
Well, you've been here before, that's why.
Yeah, and you're very sort of comfortable people to be around. In spite of everything, there's something incredibly warm. I just mean by everything, I mean, it's, you know, it's on the television, there can be incredible dread and lighting and economic imperatives, and yet, here is the glory of femininity.
Beautifully put. You know, I must ask you this because a couple of years ago, you had a Twitter feud.
Oh, that's right.
With Trump.
Whatever happened to that guy? He's gone so quiet ever since then.
Actually, the producers told me about this, and I thought, why you? I mean, he tweeted, "What the hell do people say in Russell? A major loser."
Clearly, he didn't see forgetting Sarah Marshall.
What was that about?
What happened is I met him. And therefore, problems ensued. I interviewed him for a documentary I was making about happiness and essence. And all the while he was talking, I kept thinking, how are we in this big tower that this man owns when he is evidently so stupid? Now, I kept trying to understand it. Then, now I don't like being unkind to people, so I already feel bad about saying that. But obviously, this man sort of practices very much in cruelty, doesn't he? It's like his language. Yes. So, so I was trying to analyse it and understand it. I'm a stand-up comedy, and I was doing jokes about it. And then he heard that I'd said these jokes. Some of them were quite cheap, about like his hair looking like the ghost of shredded wheat. Yeah. Some of them, not even shredded wheat that's alive now, but shredded wheat from the ethereal realm. Yes. Anyway, I criticised him and I suppose what he is an emblem of, an economic model of inequality and privilege, and now using that privilege to further disempower people and speak cruelly from the office of president. Although, you know, like most people, when he was running for president, I thought, oh, this can't actually happen. It can't actually happen. Then, of course, it did actually happen, and now we've got to live with those peculiar consequences. Not like it's a problem if you support Trump, because I imagine that what you're identifying with is the sense of rage, and I understand people's rage. People are being lied to. People are being cheated and swindled. It's just that the solution to this rage is not to move further apart, but to move closer together. So, obviously, isn't it? Anyway, I criticised him and was rude. Oh, cheers.
And he doesn't like to be criticised.
Yeah, and I was only doing it in a jokey way. He does look as if he has thin skin, except for the jowly area. I mean, like, if he likes borders so much, why not have one between here and here? But that's, again, I don't like being cruel. I don't like to be cruel. I don't like to be cruel. I apologise. I take that back.
You're just
because I think he probably needs love. He must be a human being. What happens in his mind when he's on his own?
Yeah,
you're perhaps just being...
He doesn't want love.
I want to talk about your book.
There must be a way of reaching him with love. Is there?
You're just being observant. Yes, there is. But I want to talk to you about your book because I read your book.
Yeah, because I've tried my hardest for that book.
And it's really brutally honest, I think. Like Whoopi said in the beginning, you write about your past, addictions to everything from heroin to alcohol to sex, and you've spent the last 14 years in recovery. Congratulations for that, by the way. Congratulations.
That's fine.
Congratulations. So what have you learned about addiction that other people should know? Because you really go through this sort of 12-step process.
Sonny, I can tell you something, that I think we're all on the scale of addiction, and the tools that work to free you from addiction, to alcoholism or drugs, can be used for any kind of form of enslavement to substances. That's what I've learned. Just before the break, you were talking about body image. People are literally being broadcast lies and then responding to it in their body. So this is a thing I've learned. We don't choose between working a program, and my book is about a program for living. We don't choose between having a program and not having a program. We choose between a conscious program and an unconscious program. If you're not consciously working a program, you are being worked by your unconscious program.
How do you work a conscious program? How do you do that? Yeah.
Firstly, you admit that there is a problem, that there is something you want to change. Right. Then you accept that change is possible. And third, you become willing to accept help and to believe in things beyond the limits of your own needs and desires and wants. I think the problem is we have a biochemistry that tells us we need more, we want more. And then we have a culture that tells us that we're not good enough and lies to us in order to make us want more. Just that body image example that you've already used. This happens everywhere, so that we're stimulated into a state of constant consuming.
Right. Now, you just got married.
Oh, it was
just
brilliant.
To change tunes a little bit. You got married, so a big congratulations.
Thanks.
But you write, as Sonny mentioned, you write in the book about sex addiction. How was the transition from that to domestic life?
It's a pretty radical transition, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
you're a
It's
dad.
one extreme to the other, isn't it?
And children also.
Yeah.
Like going from sex addiction to marriage, it's a pretty radical swing. I mean, like because in marriage, it's much more cuddling and patience and tolerance, isn't it, than
Well,
sex?
you can have
That's
as much
normal,
sex
isn't
as
it?
you want. You just have
With
to have
the
it with
wife.
the same person.
That's right. I mean,
It's
what kind
actually-
of deal's that? No, I love it. I love it. I'm very happy to be married. It's bliss. And in fact, what I'm doing is I'm unpicking the stitching of my addiction. I love being present and being a father to my daughter. It's completely changed my outlook. I was a person that was obsessed with fame, obsessed with what other people think of me, and I still care about it. When I think about the book being #1 in a list, I still feel a little egoic pang. But I know nothing can make me happy except for my inner life and my inner connection and being of use to others. And like having a wife and having a baby, I suppose it's the materialization of I'm not the most important person in the
Yes.
world.
Yes. Yes.
I always knew it, but no one made it clear to me by vomiting on me.
Now you know it.
Now I know. So clear. Little maids.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
man.
Whoopi.
Yeah.
I feel a
Welcome
lot
back.
better. Yeah, I feel like I'm in humanity. It's just, my belief about this book and about the program, perhaps more importantly, is it can change people's consciousness.
Yes.
It can change the way we live in the world. It can unhook us from needing and wanting and not feeling good enough. I think it works. I think it's real.
Well, look, come back anytime.
I'll be
Anytime,
back in
we
10
love
minutes.
You. All right. Our thanks to Russell Brand. Now, I have to tell you, coming up next, Viola Davis stops by. She stopped by recently, as a matter of fact, and we're going to show you her interview when we come back. It is not live, so don't be surprised that we're not talking about the things that are happening in the last day or so. But before we go, everybody in the audience, you are so lucky because you're all getting a copy of Russell Brand Recovery, which is out today. And we, of course, will be right back. It's actually very good. I mean, all the years that we achieve are great. Is this one faster than any of the previous ones?
It's faster because I'm older. You don't remember when you were young and time went by too slow? Now that you're older, you want it to slow down, it's going faster. Yeah. But this is the best time of my life because I have everything in perspective.
Oh.
You know?
Tell us about that. Like what?
Well, you know, you just, you know, not to be too deep on a, you know, early morning,
Go
but
deep,
you see
girl, go deep.
But you see your mortality and things start to become in sharp focus, and you see that, you know, my love for my husband, love for my friends, connecting, belonging to myself, my daughter, are just, I see the value in it. You know, I see as much of a value in that as I do my work. I wasn't there when I was younger. I said, oh, I want it. I want it. And now I got it.
Yes,
you know,
you do.
I got the golden ticket.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Good for you.
Well, you know, I grew up poor in the South Bronx. I never thought there were poor people in Rhode Island. It just seemed like such a wonderful place. But earlier this year, you posted the only photo you have of yourself as a child, and this is it. Why is that the
Cute.
only photo you have?
Well, I don't know. That's probably a better question for my mother.
Yeah.
But we moved to Central Falls, too, when I was a baby. So I don't know. A lot of the pictures were lost in fires when we were moving. But that little girl, that's the picture I have of myself as a little girl. And people keep saying, oh, yeah, well, how do you feel about that when you look at the picture? That's how I see myself now. I feel like that's a little girl that connects me to people. That's a little girl who was hungry in every way, hungry for food, hungry for success, hungry for dreams. That's a little girl who saw the joy in the little things, you know? And that's a little girl who wanted to get out.
Yes.
She had drive, and sometimes I lose my drive now. Sometimes I coast, you know? You know,
Yeah,
you wake up every morning, you try to get through your day, you don't appreciate things as much. Then I look at her and say, Viola, you have food in your refrigerator, you have a house, and the little girl smiles, you know?
Wow.
I think I'm doing good.
That's great.
Better than that.
That's so good. So you and your husband have been married for 14 years now,
14
right?
years.
You got the little girl,
14 long
7-year-old.
years.
But you said recently that you don't believe that a marriage begins when you say, I do. So when does it begin for you?
It begins when you look over at your spouse and they make you so mad that you think I'm gonna kill them, or you think, why did I marry this human being? I didn't think that this is what I agreed on, but you stay with them anyway. You say, I'm gonna love them anyway because I'm gonna honor the commitment. That's when your marriage starts. And as a matter of fact, that's when it starts with everything, even with the things that you love to do. I don't care what anyone says. You get everything you dream of, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna be disillusioned because it's like someone said that people thrive for success, but they forget about the last part, which is significance.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like I look over, I'm sure my husband has done it to me too, a couple of times. But I honor the commitment, and that's what it is. And I think that people always think it's going to be rosy.
No.
But that's it.
I also love How to Get Away with Murder. I just love it. So the fourth season.
I know.
It premiered last Thursday, and fans are already on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
Your character, Annalise, is a total mess.
She's always a
hot
total
mess. Yes.
Here's the normal.
She's a mess.
Just a hot mess. And she has to start her life from scratch.
Yeah.
From scratch. What can we expect from her this season?
Listen, like I told Pete, this is what I told Pete Nowalk, the creator. I said, Pete, I need Annalise to do better. I really do.
Yes.
I just need her to rock. I want her to do something heroic. So I think she's gonna find the hero in herself.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm gonna say. You know why I'm saying that? Because Pete's gonna get pissed because he says I revealed too much.
Okay, all right.
So-
Now Pete better follow through.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah, that's right. I want to see some heroism. Your husband guest starred in the episode. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so good. Will we be seeing more of him?
Well, he believes he's gonna come back in the bottom of a well, you know? But you know, it was kind of titillating to have him, you know?
Oh.
Kind of spiced it up a little bit. But I love the character. Once again, listen, when you look at the clip, what I love is Annalise smiles. I know that's really crappy. I just told my, daughter to stop apologizing. And then I'm saying, oh, I like that she smiles. I like that someone made her smile.
Smile. Not always.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I got a chip on my shoulders, Viola, so I like Annalise smiling.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, your role on the show has been groundbreaking because it defies many of Hollywood's kind of stereotypes or rules when it comes to age and gender, ethnicity. You and your husband have a mission to try and change that with your production company.
Yep, Juvie Productions.
Tell us about that.
Which, I can't say it a lot, but I call my husband the mogul because he runs it. But, there's no time to really explain it. But I will say this. There's a famous acting teacher, Sanford Meisner. He says the most important question you can ask as an actor is why. And so I see Juvie Productions as the why. Why can I be sexualized as 52 years old, dark-skinned black woman? Why can't I be funny? Why can't I be angry? Why do I have to be put in a box? Because I don't believe in stereotypes. I believe we have 324 million people in this country. You can't tell me that you could put people in the box.
Wow.
And put them, and art has got to reflect those people. That's what makes you lean in. I don't care what anyone says. What makes you lean in is when you see a character that reflects you.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget, it is within your power
Absolutely.
to create
Absolutely.
the reality you want.
Absolutely.
So you be funny, you be sexy, you be all the stuff people tell you you're not. Because what do they know?
They don't know anything.
They don't know.
They don't
Because
even
some
know that
people-
I'm fun. I am. I'm actually fun.
We know.
We always say that when you're here, come back. Whenever you're in the city, come back. Our thanks to Viola Davis. How to Get Away with Murder airs Thursday night at 10 right here on ABC. We'll be right back.
They keep it together when Idris Elba joins the table. And view your deal to strike a blow against breast cancer just by shopping.
Hey, thanks for watching the show. We know everybody's afraid, but you know what? We're all holding hands together. We're We're all going to take this one step at a time. We want you to take time to enjoy, really take time to enjoy the view. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.